If you enjoy both African hunting and older rifles, double rifles, bolt action rifles of Holland & Holland, Rigby, Westley Richards, Jeffrey, Mauser, please hit the subscribe button below and join our community where we discuss this. Today we take a look at a proprietary Westley Richards rifle in caliber .425 Westley Richards. And even though many trade case label will state Westley Richards with a London address, very few of these rifles were ever built in London. Westley Richards has a very long legacy and proud history in Birmingham, England. And the gun we're going to look at today was actually also manufactured in Birmingham and retailed out of London. The double rifle we're looking at is recorded in the journals of Westley Richards as a .425 rimless caliber double hammerless ejector rifle with Westley Richards patent snap action lever work, 2 triggers. The rifle was completed on October 14th, 1924. And this was actually an export rifle. If you look at the prefix of the T on the serial number, it corroborates that. And the gun was actually manufactured for Ghulam Hussain Alaboy & Sons, Bombay, India. So a rifle that was never intended to stay in England. A very nice service that Westley Richards offers is they actually will send you copies of these ledger entries if you ask them, and actually validate a little bit of history on the actual rifles. The .425 double gun comes in a case which Westley Richards terms the light duty canvas case, and even though it is canvas and leather only, it does actually contain everything pretty neatly packed inside. There's enough space for all of the different cleaning equipment, some extra bullets, cleaning cloth, jags, oil bottle, then the barrel up at the top, and the actual buttstock and action down at the bottom. So very snug fit for everything in this case. The .425 comes as a non-drop lock box lock rifle, and as you can see, even for a 1924 rifle, the wood is in pretty good shape. What is interesting about this rifle is they used buffalo horn for the butt plate, the grip cap, as well as the front piece of the front end. And we'll take it apart and look at that in a little bit more detail. This rifle was recently refurbished in London. As you can see, the case coloring was really well restored, and as I said, the wood was really in good shape, so nothing was really needed to be attempted there. Other than that, it's in pretty good shape, and we'll take it apart and have a good look at it in just a second, and different pieces. This double rifle comes with a typical Westley Richards safety mechanism. That safety with a little bubble on the front end to take it on and off safety. It comes with a patented Westley snap action lever there, and then it has that typical very beefy type C doll head that slips into that action. Keeps those barrels very tightly locked up to the box lock. Rear island with again sight right up to 500 yards. Then the Westley Richards name engraved on the barrels there, and then a nice beefy front island with a nice big bead on there. So this rifle was actually an ejector rifle, so even though the .425 has a rebated rim, it has a very intricate mechanism to actually capture that rebated rim and eject it once the cases have been fired. But a really well constructed rifle. It is heavy. It weighs just short of 11 pounds. and recoil very manageable, but a very nice and easy rifle to shoot. For those of you interested in more detail about the Westley Richards history, the best book I could find really describing Westley Richards history, the use of the guns, the developments, and really how everything evolved is this book, Westley Richards and Company in Pursuit of the Best Gun, spanning the period 1812 to 2012. Very detailed, and Westley Richards recently started publishing some of their Explorer articles in journal form, and those journals are available from Westley Richards. Very nice, looking back at older guns, really well worth collecting that. As you can see from this image, the 45 Westley Richards has a rebated rim, and that's really kind of where we get hung up these days, because it is a caliber that requires a little more expensive action, even if it's made in a bolt action rifle, because you need to have that round chamber almost parallel to the bolt to ensure that it's actually grabbed by the bolt as the bolt moves forward. So it is a little more expensive, and everything that's more expensive people don't like. So the rebated rim cartridge and the rebated rim cases and components are becoming a little bit of an issue to get a hold of. So at this point in time, I'm using Bertram cases. RCC and Amarillo does manufacture these cases, and I have some on order. But it is something that if you don't reload, it's going to be a little tough to get a hold of these. Now, if we look at the actual Westley Richards, it shoots a 0.435 inch diameter bullet. It shoots it in weight of 410 grains. Both softs and solids are available from Woodley, and even the old rounds loaded by Westley Richards themselves, are not really available any longer. So reloading has become a little bit of a kind of a only option. So it also is available in a 0.435 410 grain soft, and the irony of ironies is it's actually a really good caliber for hunting dangerous game. So if you're going to hunt buffalo or even elephant, this is an exceptionally good performing caliber. Unfortunately, availability has become the really big problem here. So I guess many folks would ask why did Westley Richards develop the 425 as a rebated rim cartridge? And there's really fundamentally two big drivers behind that decision. The first one was when Westley Richards launched the 425 Westley Richards in 1909. They wanted a cartridge for a bolt action rifle that could be fit into a normal Mauser 98 action without tempering with action. And the bolt face of this rebated rim is the same as the 30-06 size. So even though that was achieved, they never figured that you had to change the walls on the side north of the magazine to actually grab this cartridge and keep it in parallel. The second thing is having this with a rebated rim allowed it to be put in stripper clips, and a lot of the game department workers in Africa actually use this with stripper clips on problem animal control. So there was a little bit of reason behind the madness, but unfortunately that has also led to the downfall of this rifle. Now, the 410 grain bullet that it shoots it at about 2,350 feet a second. So again, it is a caliber that is not a big case, but it packs a very solid punch, and as I said, completely adequate if you can reload for it for African dangerous game. I hope you enjoyed today's session, and until we meet again, stay safe and happy hunting.